Selling your condo in Toronto, how do the professionals price it? Stay tuned for this episode of Prime Properties TV where I'll be sharing you 5 considerations, top considerations from professionals on how to price your condo. Good day, Toronto! Welcome to episode 004 of Prime Properties TV. In this episode, we're going to be talking about how to price your condo. Now, before I get started, there's something I want to clear up in terms of pricing. I hear this a lot from my buyers and sellers. It's the concept of dollar per square foot. Now, I'm going to be calling this PSF, per square foot for short. Now, what this thing is basically saying is that in a certain area, the condos average at this price, dollar per square foot. So if you're at the Yonge and Bloor area, your dollar per square foot is probably a little bit higher than if you were, say, in the Mississauga area because it's a little bit more condensed. Now, that's totally a legit way to see the area. But the confusion comes in the fact that if you're selling a 1-bedroom condo versus a 2-bedroom condo, the dollar per square foot varies because there's a diminishing return for the 2-bedroom condos. Because keep in mind, you're sharing a living space and sharing a kitchen. So your dollar per square foot is actually lower in 2-bedroom condos than it is for 1-bedroom condos. So when you are talking about, oh, you know what, I should price it on the average of this area because the dollar per square foot is there, make sure you're taking into consideration that if you are a 1-bedroom, it's maybe a little bit higher. If you're into a 2-bedroom, maybe it's a little bit lower because that dollar per square foot area is averaged out between all the units in that area, okay? Second misconception that I kind of want to talk about right now and is, well, not really a misconception, but more of an idea. In most condos, there aren't many bidding wars unless you have a meticulously spectacular condo that is underpriced. Most condos don't have bidding wars and they don't get sold for over asking. Generally, they're anywhere between 95 to 100% of the asking price, okay? So now that you guys kind of understand that, here are my top 5 considerations that you should keep in mind when you're pricing your condo. Consideration number 1. Everybody talks about it in real estate. Location, 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 location. Okay? If you are in a prime location, you're obviously going to have and generate a higher price. So I'll give you an example. If you are in the Yonge and College where the hospitals and UT and Ryerson is, you're going to command a higher price. And now here's another plus. If you're connected directly to a subway line, you're going to so you're going to generate an even higher price because location, location, location. Consideration number 2. I was actually going to put this number 1 because I personally think it's very important, but it's equally as important as location. It's floor plans. I cannot stress how important a floor plan is. I'll give you an example, okay? If you have a functional 500 square foot floor plan for a 1-bedroom in downtown, it is going to trump an unfunctional 550 square foot floor plan. Why? Let me give you an example. When you walk in and the space feels open and it works, you can put your sofa, table, like island, all in the correct positions. Fantastic. Every single square foot is usable. What I mean by functional, okay? Now, if it's unfunctional, an example is, you know when you open a door, you got to go into a hallway that makes a corner into a left turn. There's a little closet here before you get into the living space. Now, that hallway and the little turn is wasted square foot because you can't actually put anything there other than maybe hang some posters or paintings. So a functional floor plan is very, very, very key. Consideration number 3, views. Not Drake's album, don't necessarily leave it when you're selling a condo. The view from your condo is very important. I'll give you another example. If you have views, unobstructed views of the lake, thumbs up. If you have obstructed view right into a condo, into someone's living room, thumbs down. Right? So make sure when you're buying a place or when you're selling, consider the views. If there is a condo being built at that time, you know that it's going to lower your value because your views is gone. Okay? Consideration number 4. Okay? This is parking and locker. Now this one's really, really obvious because if you have a parking spot and a locker attached to the unit, it's going to cost more. If you don't, it's going to cost less. Now, anywhere in Toronto, parking cost varies. It could go from $35,000, I've seen up to $80,000 depending on the area. Parking spot is at a premium in the financial and downtown core. Locker, same thing. I've seen anywhere between $2,500 in value to about $5,000 because, again, in downtown, storage is at a premium. So make sure you consider that when you're selling your condo. And consideration number 5, upgrades. Whether it's your own personal upgrades or the builder's upgrades, you have to factor those in. So if you have a sexy gas stove, Wolfgang Puck stovetop, that's obviously going to cost more, and you have to build that into your price. If you have the newest sexy trend of Caesar stone granite or countertops, it's going to factor in. But remember, this also applies to who you're selling to. You know, if you're selling on the high-end side of the condos, that makes a difference. But if you're selling into the entry levels, it may not make that difference. That's going to be part of who your target market is going to be, which I'll be talking about in a later video. So those are my top 5 considerations for how to price your condo. Now, I'm going to give you a bonus lightning round. I'm going to go fast, but these are things to also consider that didn't make it to my top 5. Lightning round number 1, exposure. Southwest view generally has better sun. You in downtown usually have the lake view versus east view, so those are a little bit better. Ceiling height, generally see condos have 8.5 to 9 feet ceiling height. If you have 10, fantastic, because it feels more open. Amenities, if you have a sexy pool, people like that because it can throw wicked parties in the summer. Staging, we talked about this in the previous episode. If your place is staged nicer and people can see it for the way it's going to be, it'll probably be better. Condo fees, maintenance fees. If it's lower, it's probably a little bit better, and it's going to affect the price because no one wants to pay a high price for condo fees every single month. And the last one, your brand name. It's like brand name condos. If you have a purse, you want that Gucci logo or the Chanel logo. Same thing with condos. There are condos that are very reputable. This includes condos downtown like Aura, the L Tower, Ice Tower. So all of these will be factored into your price. I hope you guys learned something in this video, and if you did, or if you just frankly enjoyed watching this video, make sure to press the like button down here and subscribe to PrimePropertiesTO. If you have any questions, you can email me directly or leave them in the comment section below. And remember, make sure you share this with your family and friends because an educated consumer is the best consumer. I'll see you next time, Toronto.